Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the Original Rebels Racing League versus SCSRA League Showdown. Tonight, it's going to be 133 laps at Nashville Superspeedway in these Gander Outdoors trucks. And I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman-Weeson. Joining me tonight to call the action will be my fellow iRacer and good friend, Alex Veith. Alex, how you doing tonight?
Oh, fantastic. I got a little dual screen action going on. I got this on one screen, and I got the Gateway Dirt National late model feature on the other.
This is going to be an interesting one. This was planned a couple months ago when the Original Rebels Racing League owners met with the SCSRA League owners, and they kind of planned this out. And here we are finally at Nashville Superspeedway for this event. Right now in practice, we see an SCSRA driver on the top of the board in Daniel Michel. He ran a 30.26. In second, third, fourth, and fifth, we have Rebels drivers and Zach Wetstein with a 30.26, Eddie Smith with a 30.30, Jason Warren with a 30.32, and then rounding out your top five right now in practice, it's Jonah Colbert with a 30.32. And right now, we're pretty much seeing the top 10 all separated by less than a tenth. This is going to be some tight racing action here. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, SCSRA may have the top of the board, but we have the rest of the top five.
Yeah, there's great...
We as in I don't feel like I'm representing the Original Rebels Racing League here, but we got a lot of fast guys. I'm really excited to see how we stack up with another league of similar atmosphere and driver skill, and where I feel like SCSRA and Original Rebels are kind of the same league, different people, different name.
I can agree with that. I mean, talking with the Rebels and talking with the SCSRA members, they're both very, very similar people. But looks like we got 1 minute and 30 left in practice. And I'm excited that they picked Nashville Superspeedway as the venue because I think I wouldn't want to see a short track and I wouldn't want to see a super speedway, and I maybe wouldn't want to see a mile and a half. I would kind of want to see a track that was in between, kind of an equal playing ground where we would get to see high speeds, a lot of lifting and braking, and we're going to see the best of the best rise to the top because Nashville Super Speedway is definitely not a easy track, you could say.
No, I can't really form an opinion on this track because I just bought it about 2 minutes ago.
Yep, this track was recently released after getting added to the NASCAR schedule. And it was recently added to iRacing back when it was released into the NASCAR schedule. This is a fun track. I've raced here once in the ARCA cars, and my tire blew. This track is so terrible on these tires. So these drivers are going to need to be very, very mindful in saving those tires because this is going to be a long race, 133 laps. So another thing we're going to be watching is it's not only going to be skill, but it's also going to be about pit strategy and tire saving. Driver skill. We do have some people in the chat. Dayton Lee says, I've been looking forward to this race for quite some time. I've definitely been excited for this race too. Again, two very similar leagues going at it. And we are actually getting ready for qualifying. These drivers will have 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap times.
Yeah, with always a concrete surface is very violent on a set of tires.
Yep, another track that I would think would be fun for another league showdown in the future would probably be Dover. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That's like if you doubled the size of Bristol.
Ooh, Bristol would be fun too. All right, we got cars out on track right now. We're watching Zach Wetstein. Zach was in the top 5 in practice. Looked very, very fast. He's looking to try to carry that momentum from practice here into qualifying. No, I did see... go ahead.
Zach Wetstein is one of those alien fast guys. I think he won 7 of the 18 races we had in the Rebels Truck Series and the championship, of course.
So he's definitely going to be a driver to watch.
He's a driver to watch for sure.
think we're getting ready to see some drivers get onto the board. We see Riley Hagerman says, "Good luck, little brother. Bring home the win." Logan Hagerman, he's not out on track, but he should be going out to turn his qualifying lap soon. And there we go. We see Zach Wetstein to the top of the board with a 30.26. Kai Schappert second. We see your leader in practice, Daniel Michel, able to get to second with a 30.36. He's about a tenth off of Zach right now.
Yeah, Zach was able to turn up the wick a little bit from his fastest practice time to take the pole right there. Jonah Colbert to second on the board.
Yeah, watch out for him, 30.34, and that was only on his first lap. We should see him maybe improve on his second lap. Eddie Smith to the top of the board. He was also very, very fast in practice. He had a 30.25, and so that's going to leave 100th separating first and second right now between Eddie Smith and Zach Wetstein. We got Brandon Wallace on track, Sam Wetstein on track, getting ready to set their lap times. Sam Wetstein getting ready to cross the line, so is Brandon Wallace. So far, we have 4 Rebels guys in the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5th is Daniel Michel right now. We see Jason Warren able to make it into the top 5 with a 30.35, and then Matthew Scott gets to 4th.
Yeah, the Eddie Smith on top of the board with a 32.50. That is moving.
Yeah, Eddie Smith definitely a driver to watch here. Alex, what are you going to be for picks for who's your going to pick to win for the original Rebels, and then who's your pick for the SCSRA? Do you think?
I'm between Jason Warren, Stormin Warren, and Zach Wetstein for the Rebels, and for the SCSRA guys, I'm not too familiar with them. We're gonna pick a random driver, and it's gonna be Cody Moore.
Cody Moore, good pick. So I'm gonna have to go here for my Rebels pick. I'm gonna have to go with Jonah Colbert. And for my SCSRA pick, I'm also going to have to go with Cody Moore. Cody Moore in the SCSRA Xfinity Series has won 3 races so far in less than 10 races, which is absolutely incredible. So he's definitely going to be a driver to watch.
The man on the track right now, Mr. Garrett Kinder, he's one of those that'll come up and surprise you.
Yeah, he's won a couple races that I've announced before. He's definitely a good driver. Watch out for him. It looks like he's getting ready to complete his first lap time. Yep. Michael Provolt on track. Michael Provolt won the SCSRA Street Stock Series Championship, so we know he's very, very good at these short tracks. All right, so this is the first lap for Kinder. See, a lot of drivers waiting until later to turn their qualifying laps.
Yeah, just kind of gambling with the track temp. I mean, granted, it's 88 degrees, but you never know. You might get lucky and drop a degree or two and get a little bit faster track.
We see both Garrett Kinder and Stephen Black able to break into the top 10. Stephen Black with a 30.38. Garrett Kinder with a 30.41. So that's going to leave, let's see, Stephen Black is about a tenth off of Eddie Smith right now. It looks like this is going to be a 10-minute qualifying. Just allow all these drivers to get onto the board.
Yeah, we got Chuck Phelps and Eddie Morris, 2 guys that haven't turned a lap yet.
Yep, they're 2 of the last drivers to turn a lap. There we got Chuck Phelps.
Chuck Phelps.
Watching him on track, going through 3 and 4.
One thing about Mr. Phelps here is he is the most meticulous iRacer I've ever had the fortune to meet. He's a disabled veteran, and he's got all the time in the world to go turn laps, and he has notebooks for every car and every track and notes on his driving line, everything.
Wow, so he's going to be a driver to watch out here
is
tonight?
dedicated to the sport of iRacing and sim racing, and you will not meet a nicer guy.
That's incredible, and looks like he's able to get to 31st with a 30.93, looking to be improving on his second lap. Got Eddie Morris to 20th with a 30.60. Looks like Cody Morris staying out after he's completed his 2 practice laps just to turn a little bit more. 2 qualifying laps just to get a little bit more practice before the feature. See, Dayton Lee says, it's like the Californians and the Canadians, which is SCSRA, that's very true, versus the rest of the United States, the Rebels. This is kind of, it's not just a league showdown, it's Californians and Canadians versus the rest of the United States.
We have Canadians in our league, like 2 of them.
Well, not in this race. We've got 3 Canadians. That's Derek Chaput, Logan Hagerman, and Nick Mather, all of them representing the SCSRA.
I'm not sure where our Canadian is, but he's somewhere. Tyler Gadke.
You always have to have one in a league.
Yeah, you start getting more than one Canadian, stuff starts getting weird.
I could agree with that.
People start saying the word toque a lot and a.
That's not weird.
There's a bunch of hockey references.
It's not weird. Aren't you a Blackhawks fan?
Well, that's not something. Hockey's not big in the Rebels, believe it or not. Which the Blackhawks are playing the Rangers tonight. I'm not going to watch that game. It's just not going to be good.
Looks like, let's see. We got a lot going on after this discussion in the chat right now, as you could imagine. See, Michael Lawrence says, LOL. Dayton Wee says, the Rebels have a token Canadian. Michael Lawrence says, that explains a lot. And Riley Hagerman says, easy now, LOL. So, we're going to go to another subject right now. Let's see. But everybody in their respective voice chats currently talking it over before we officially go to the green flag. Do you think that we're going to see any teamwork from both the leagues, like members of each of the leagues blocking for each other, that kind of stuff?
I don't think that we'll see that hardly. I think the Rebels guys are just as excited to beat each other as they are to beat another league. I really think you'll see guys when we get long green flag pit stop runs, we'll see lots of strategy pitting together and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see the SCSRA people work together and the Rebels people work together. And I think we're going to see 2 different pit strategies maybe. Let's see. All the Dirt says SCSRA. So that's Mick Olofsson. He's a member of the SCSRA, likes to cheer for them. And then he says, rooting for my boys Whitmore and all the rest of the SCSRA drivers. Let's see where they're at. Cody Moore currently in the top 10, 30.41. He had a good qualifying run. He's my pick to win tonight's event. Definitely a great driver, especially at a track like Nashville Superspeedway. And then let's see. Will Witt, he's 18th right now, 30.57, about 3/10 off of first right now. He's also a very, very fast driver. Never can count him out, so we'll see how well he can do.
Speaking of dirt, the winner, I don't know if anybody's know this, but the winner of the super late model feature at the Gateway Dirt Nationals gets to drive the Nice Motorsports truck at Knoxville.
Oh, wow.
And from what I can see, Tyler Carpenter is led it wire to wire so far.
That is, let's see. I'm just changing one thing with the graphics, and then we will be back to do your starting lineup. There we go. All right. All right. It's time to look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 30.250 with JC Motorsports, it's Eddie Smith. Then outside of him, we have the 4 machine of Zach Wetstein. It's the 2 car of Isaac Gill in third. Fourth will also be JC Motorsports driver Jonah Colbert. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Matthew Scott. 6th place, we got Jason Warren in that 32 machine. 7th will be Daniel Michel in that 25. Remember, the SCSRA got Stephen Black in 8th. 9th will be Garrett Kinder. And then rounding out your top 10, we have Cody Moore. Kai Shappert will be in 11th. 12th is that 40 machine of Brian Nudie. In P13, we have Kyle Mays in the 55. 14th will be Brian Merle Jr. And then rounding out your top 15 from Canada, got Mr. Derek Chaput. And then to his outside, we also have another Canadian, Logan Hagerman. In 16th, 17th will be Aaron Adcock. 18th is Will Witt. 19th is Charles Stevens Jr. And then rounding out your top 20, we got Mr. Eddie Morris. In 21st, we have Brandon Wallace. 22nd will be the 6 of Tyler Rice. 23rd will be the 16 of Nick Mather. 24th is the 17 of Josh Oswald. P25 got Intensity Broadcasting Zone Joe Wright. 26th is Todd Mays. 27th will be Matt Clemon. 28th, Stephen McDonald. 29th, Brandon White. 30th, Michael Lawrence. 31st will be Michael Provolt. P32 is Chuck Feltz. And then rounding out your top 33, last but not least, it's Sam Wetstein.
One thing I've noticed, SCSRA is they're all running matching or similar paint schemes. Evidently, we did not get that memo nor acknowledge that memo.
Yeah, so those paint schemes were created by Eddie Morris, and they're all supposed to be identical. So you'll know if an SCSRA car is coming up to your back bumper. I think there's only a couple drivers that aren't running them. But here we go. Green flag is out. We see the 87 of Eddie Smith is taken off. We're getting ready for 133 laps of action. We see Eddie Smith trying to get clear of Zach Wetstein running that high side, and there we go. Got Isaiah Gill getting a great run on that bottom, and he is able to get clear of Zach Wetstein. So now Isaiah Gill getting ready to set his sights on your leader, Eddie Smith, as we head into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, great battles all the way through the field. A lot of black and yellow grouped together throughout the field towards the back.
Yeah, right now we got, let's see, 2 SCSRA, 3 Rebels guys in the top 5 right now. So a little bit of a mix at the moment. We can soon to see Isaac Gill on the back bumper of Eddie Smith trying to set up that pass. And we see our first caution. Sam Wetstein involved in this one. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at what happened. We see Sam Wetstein. He's got Chuck Feltz in front of him, and it's Michael Lawrence and one other driver in front of him. It looks like we see some checking up. Wetstein has nowhere to go except for right into the back of Lawrence. Lawrence slides down into Provolt, and this just creates this big domino effect. See the 68 of Steve McDonald involved. Gosh, hate to see it already. Some drivers having tough breaks early on. Do have a few drivers coming into the pits. Eddie Morris, Brandon Wallace, Joseph Wright. A lot of those drivers weren't involved in that wreck, so I'm interested to see what they're coming in. Maybe to top off on fuel, they might know something that we don't. I definitely think that's a good decision to maybe come and top off on fuel.
Yeah, especially if you're that far in the back. You're not going to lose anything.
Yep, looks like it was just gas and go for Joe Wright, Eddie Morris, and Brandon Wallace. We'll see how that's going to work out for them. They might be able to stay it a little bit longer than some of these other drivers. We got a lot going on in the chat right now. Let's see. Tyler Gatke says, do the Blackhawks ever have good games this year?
Easy.
See, See, Dayton says, I think everyone is in it to win it. I agree. This is gonna be an interesting one. Got everybody, a bunch of fast drivers placed in a little concrete bowl. This should be a fun one. Blake Hensley says, the Californians, the Canadians, and the Southerners, the Mays, Kyle Mays, Stephen Black, and Eddie Morris. That's right. We got some Tennessee and Mississippi drivers as well with the SCSRA. Let's see. This is an awesome group of drivers. All of them can wheel, and honestly, any of them could win, and I wouldn't be surprised. I agree with that. We got a bunch of fast drivers. Go number 13. Let's see where Kinder's at right now. Garrett Kinder's up in the top 10, running in 7th at the moment. He's had a good race so far, gained 2 positions since the green flag drop. Definitely watch out for him in that big frig cooler machine. Let's see. James Hubbard says, good luck, guys, watching. Thanks for tuning in, James. And Dayton says, that looks pretty amazing. It is a sight to be seen with all those green and black cars fanning out and moving around. Like they're like a telepathic being almost. All right, we're getting ready to go back green here. Eddie Smith will be restarting on the bottom. Isaiah Gill on the top. And look at this. We got Blake Hensley sending 200 stars. Thank you for the star donation, Hensley. That is greatly appreciated. And thank you for tuning in to watch the broadcast, man. Thank you for the kind words, Blake. We appreciate that. We try to do the best we can in these broadcasts, and hopefully you're enjoying it so far.
And we are back to green flag racing.
Yep, we see Eddie Smith taking off as we cross the line. Zach Wetstein all over the back bumper of Gill right now. Looks like he's taking a shot down low in 1 and 2, but we see Isaiah able to shut the door. But I don't think we've seen the end of that 4 car. He's going to continue to try to set up that pass behind Wetstein. We got the 4 of Jonah Colbert looking to try to make a pass.
Yeah, Eddie Smith is in another zip code at the moment with a pretty solid, see what it is at the stripe, half a second lead.
Yeah, and he ran the fastest lap time of the race. Eddie Smith, definitely one of the favorites to win tonight's event. We look now to, we got a battle for 3rd. We got Colbert right on the back bumper of Zach Wetstein, and then we got SCSRA driver Matthew Scott behind them. From 3rd to 5th, and then we see Daniel Michel join the party as well. The top 6 cars are all very tight right now.
Yeah, it's pretty sped out and pretty tame up here at the front. Lots of battles throughout the field. Just kind of pick an area on the track and you find somebody.
Yep, and I think right now these drivers always at this track you're in tire saving mode. So looks like Isaiah Gill is extending his gap a little bit over Zach Wetstein right now, and Zach Wetstein still has Colbert on his back bumper at the moment. Let's take a look from the onboard cam of that 31 machine of Jonah Colbert. Getting right up there to that back bumper. Watch out for that 31 machine. We see right now Colbert running that low line, trying to find any speed he can to get under Wetstein.
Yeah, I don't think those two being from the same league and teammates tonight, I really don't think they're probably going to push the issue too hard. Don't want to burn each other's tires up.
I agree with that. I think they're going to maybe try to work together with each other to try to get up there and get by Gill for that 2nd spot. They do have Matthew Scott all over the back bumper of Jonah Colbert right now. And there we see Scott looking low under Colbert on the front stretch. Side by side here in turns 1 and 2. Scott with the nose through the center of the corner. They touch, beating and banging right now, and then behind them we see Daniel Michel. If both of them get into each other, he'll be able to get by and take a spot. Scott getting a great run off the turn number 4. And there we go.
Zach Wetstein able to pull a little bit of a gap there with the battle going on behind him.
Yeah, Zach Wetstein, definitely love to see that battle for 4th, because that is going to allow him to extend that gap. We still see Jonah Colbert staying on that back bumper of Matthew Scott, trying his best to take that 4th spot back.
One in the wall. Not sure what. Kyle May's in the wall.
Uh-oh, that is unfortunate for one of the SCSRA drivers. Looks like he's still able to stay in the top 10, but he's going to probably lose a couple positions. There you see him in that 55. He's getting passed right now by Garrett Kinder and Stephen Black.
Garrett Kinder and a whole swarm of SCSRA guys.
Yep, that's like, again, it looks like they're almost like a hive mind right there. There you see 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 SCSRA cars in that little group, and there's more even farther back. Let's take a look at what we got going on in the chat right now. Ratchet Miller says, all right, number 13, get her done. Let's see, Garrett Kinder right now sitting in 8th, has been chilling out in the top 10. He did lose a position after the restart. He's looking to try to make it up by catching Kai Shepard, although there is a 1-second gap between 8th and 7th. Kevin Kinder says, ton of talent on track. There is a ton of talent, a lot of great drivers. What would you say was the strength of field, Alex?
1899, I think.
Wow, yeah, that's absolutely impressive. A great group of drivers currently on the field, and then Alien Eddie up there making a hand. Eddie's just been in a whole nother world right now in that number 87 machine. He's almost to a 1-second lead over Isaiah Gill, and he's continuing to extend that gap. He's definitely one of the favorites to win tonight's event. But when we see pit strategies start coming to play, a lot can change, and we're going to see a lot of new drivers up front. Do want to give a big shout out to Chuck Phelps. He's currently running in that 20th spot, and although that might not seem like much, he has gained 12 spots after starting in that 32nd, so 32nd to 20th. That's pretty impressive, and he is still, looks like he's getting ready to catch Charles Stevens Jr., so got to give a big shout out to Chuck Phelps. See Matthew Scott still trying to catch Zach Wetstein for that 3rd spot. Looks like Isaiah Gill has also become another driver that looks like he's kind of in his own zip code right now. Another favorite. Right now from 3rd to 6th between Zach Wetstein, Matthew Scott, Jonah Colbert, Daniel Michel. There's some close racing at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of single file. I just kind of clicked through the field, and a lot of single file racing all the way through.
Yep, I think right now a lot of these drivers, majority of these drivers are currently in tire saving mode, looking to try to pit as late as they possibly can. So most of these drivers saving tires, not wanting to race each other too hard and burn off those tires. I think that's kind of what we're seeing at the moment. We do see Daniel Michel trying to catch Jonah Colbert for that 5th spot. Here's a look at the cockpit cam of that, there we go, of that 25 machine.
I'm not sure if it's my trading paints or what, but I see a lot of the Rebels guys running their paint schemes for another league that we all race in.
Yep, I know. Yeah, it's a lot different. It's kind of like how some sports all-star games, all the players wear their different jerseys from their respective teams, and then some all-star games, all the players have identical jerseys. I feel like that's kind of an example of what we're seeing right now.
Well, Eddie Smith has the Apex Sim Series windshield banner. So does Jonah Colbert. That is the league put on by Aaron Adcock. That we run on Thursday nights. I guess they forgot to change their paint schemes.
Ah, got you. I feel like I've run in a recruitment race for that league before. Next Gen's at Richmond. I feel like I remember that. Anyway, oh, look at this. We see Matthew Scott side by side with Jonah Colbert for that 4th spot. Colbert to the inside. We see Jonah with the nose as we head off of turn number 2, and he gets clear. Jonah Colbert up to 4th now. We see Daniel Michelle also looking low under Matthew Scott. I don't know if Scott burnt off his tires or what, but he's falling like a rock at the moment.
Yeah, Jonah Colbert's just kind of steady, clicking off laps. It doesn't seem like his lap times have really diminished too much. I mean, he's still running consistent and consistently falling off, I guess, is what I'm going with. Just consistent times as the tires are falling off. He's just getting incrementally slower and slower in about the same increment. Just kind of chugging along, quit hitting his marks, and running his race.
I agree, and I think that's kind of what everybody's doing right now. They're kind of, again, I've said it before, everybody's currently in tire saving mode. Well, we do have some battles going on for, no, look at this. Brian Nudie taking a look down low under Kai Shappert for that 9th spot as we head into turns 1 and 2. Nudie, league owner of the SCSRA league. He's trying to set a good example for his league mates. Able to get by Kai Shappert and up to 9th now.
Yeah, I'm not sure where our fearless leader is, Mr. William Griffith, but Eddie, Jonah, myself, Garrett, Kai, we're all admins, and Brandon Wallace, we're all kind of the crew that, and Jason Warren kind of keep the crew that keeps that, and Matt Kleeman cannot thank Matt Kleeman enough for everything he does with the league. But we have everybody but our fearless leader, William Griffith.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're seeing both leagues strongly represented here tonight. I mean, this is, if you think of SCSRA or Original Rebels, you think a lot of these drivers in the field. Let's take a look at the top 5 for the race right now. We see Eddie Smith currently in 1st, Isaiah Gill in 2nd, Zach Wetstein in 3rd, 4th is Jonah Colbert, 5th we have Daniel Michelle. So currently right now in the top 5, we got 3 Rebels drivers, Smith, Wetstein, and Colbert, and then 2 SCSRA drivers, Isaiah Gill and Daniel Michelle. So we got an equal amount of drivers pretty much right now. Oh, no! Isaiah Gill through the grass! We see it looks like there was contact between him and, oh, no, yeah, he's around. He's around. Can he save it? What a save for Isaiah. Oh, nope, he's around again. Oh, nope, he's around again. Okay. Okay, that was...
Wow, saved it, lost it, saved it, lost it, saved it, lost it.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster. I want to take a look at the replay to see exactly what happened there between him and Wetstein. I know there was hard racing here in the top 3. Wetstein running on the back bumper of that 2 machine. Looks down low.
Isaiah goes down with him.
Yeah, looks to me like, yeah, looks like...
And then eventually Zach's got a bumper on him. I mean, it's hard short track. I don't know if you really call it short track racing. It's hard racing.
Yeah, it did look to me like Gill drifted down a little bit, and I think he was just moving down with the racing line, but he just moved down a little bit too much into Wetstein. We see both of them go through the grass, and that could have been way more disastrous than it was for Isaiah Gill, because he kept getting loose, going straight, loose, going straight.
Yeah, he's gathered it back up and is back in 6th.
That's surprising. I would have thought he would have fallen more there. We see he's fallen to 2nd now, getting passed by Stephen Black. Definitely unfortunate, though. Looks like, luckily, Wetstein was able to keep it in 2nd now. I feel like this incident, though, has kind of spread out the field a little bit. We do have a battle for 6th right now, side by side between Stephen Black and Isaiah Gill. Black has the nose as we cross the line. We're actually pretty much equal as we cross the line, and these two are also catching Matthew Scott.
got a Rebels top 3 going. Zach Wetstein slowly starting to bring Eddie Smith back in.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely, let me take a look at the gap right now. You can definitely see if this is a good angle right here. You see he is catching him slowly but surely. Eddie Smith probably looking in that rear view mirror right now. He's probably not too worried, but at the same time, he's got to be thinking about it a little bit. Oh, I should do that. Looks like we have Cody Moore coming into the pits now. He actually has some damage, though, so I don't think this was scheduled. Also, we have Tyler Racing.
31 laps in. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what the fuel window is here, but I'm sure tires are getting close.
Yes, I can agree. I can agree with that one. We have lots of close racing between 3 of the SCSRA's best drivers, Steven Black, Isaiah Gill, and Brian Nudie. We're side by side on the backstretch between Gill and Black. Again, they're pretty much equal. Neither driver giving one another an inch, even though they're teammates. Oh, almost making contact there. Tight racing between these two. Here's a look at the cockpit cam. Actually, no, this would be better right here.
You know, really, now that I'm looking at the rosters, I don't think this league these 2 leagues have ever intermixed somebody racing a Rebel racing SCSRA or a SCSRA guy racing a Rebels race, other than the number 8 of Eddie Morris. He's the only person I've ever seen in Rebels.
Yeah, I know. We did see a kind of reunion between both leagues in the Joe Wright Retirement Race 150, and if you want to see these two leagues race together, go ahead and check that out. That was a blast. I even raced in it, and you raced in it as well. That was probably the most fun I have.
Adley led laps at Dega.
Yes, I led laps at Dega. That was probably the most fun I had on iRacing in probably months. That was a blast. So
that was a reunion of several occasions. In Rebels, there's a heated, friendly rival between my team, the Dark Horse Motorsports, and Logan Sturgeon heads up the Big Fish Motorsports team. And me and Logan hooked up at the last lap, and we almost drove to the front.
Ironically, though, we saw Joe Wright. He ended up getting the win, and Joe Wright racing in tonight's event. Let's see how well he can do in that 82 representing the SCSRA. If I can think of any other occurrences, I know at one point, I know Greg Froelich, he used to race in the iOS, which is now SCSRA, and I know he races in the Rebels, the Legend. Let's see. Alan Warnecki, I think he raced in iRacing Oval Series for a little bit. Matt Knights raced in iRacing Oval Series. Your good buddy Matt Knights.
Matt Knights, he races in Tuesday Night Dirt Invaders, my little corner of heaven over there in the Rebels Discord.
I did hear that he's quite the dirt wheel man.
Okay, it's a great little time over there Tuesday nights. Got 2 races left of our 8-week season. It's been flying by. Had a lot. I almost wish it was broadcasted, but there's been a lot of good racing.
Speaking of good racing, we got a battle starting to brew for first between Zach Wetstein and Eddie Smith. Watch out for this. Eddie's
not an uncommon sight if you tune in on Sunday nights.
Let's see here. Will Wetstein be able to catch Eddie Smith and pass him? We will see. Both drivers running pretty much identical lap times at the moment. That can sometimes be a problem when you're trying to pass someone. And these drivers are coming up on lap traffic as well, so we'll see if that maybe becomes a problem. And there we go. We see Wetstein looking low under Eddie Smith here on the front stretch. And he's clear. Zach Wetstein up to first now, leading laps for, I believe, the first time during this race.
Yep, passing of the torch there. Somebody, Eddie had to hand it off eventually. Looks like he kind of run out of tires.
Yeah, I believe a lot of drivers are starting to feel the tire wear come into play, unfortunately. And I think we're going to maybe see some green flag pit stops coming up very, very shortly. Question is, when will that be? We got a lot of tight racing right now between Matthew Scott, Brian Nudi, and Garrett Kinder. Looks like Kinder was able to get clear and pass Michael Proval, and now he is setting his sights on Matthew Scott. Actually, no, Nudi's setting his sights on Matthew Scott. I'm going to take a look at the chat. Let's see. Who is this? Oh, Clemon is coming in now. Matt Clemon. He does have, he has a ton of damage, so I don't think this is scheduled. Let's see. Dayton says, I think 1899 strength of the field is lower than what it should be. A lot of these drivers would have higher I ratings if they have done more official races. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I ran an official, to be honest with you.
I love official races, but they're frustrating. They're very, 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 very frustrating. Let's see. Charlie Gates says, Eddie is the man. Eddie Smith, again, he did lose the lead, though, to Zach Wetstein, but he's still having a great race running up there in the top 3. Dayton Lee says, props to Isaiah Gill for that save. That was an incredible save for Mr. Isaiah Gill, and he was still able to keep it in the top 5. Look at this. We're seeing some drivers coming in. Brian Merle Jr. coming in. Oh, we got a lot of beat-up cars. I don't know. Michael Lawrence might be. Uh-oh. We're seeing,
just went down.
Yep, Isaiah Gill and Brian Nudi are coming in now. This should start the cycle. See, are they taking tires? Oh, we see Kyle Mays is in as well. Yep, they are taking tires. So the first driver is coming in. We see Nick Mather coming in now. Oh, no, he stays out. He was just blinking. Matthew Scott is in now, another one of the SCSRA drivers. So it looked like the SCSRA driver strategies are they're trying to short pit and get an advantage over the Rebels drivers who are staying out a little bit longer than they are. Interesting. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where the actual fuel window is. We'll find out when some of these guys up front, the Rebels, start pitting.
Yep, we see Zach Wetstein continuing to stay out. We do have a battle for 13th begin to brew side by side. We got Brian Nudi trying to make his way up to the field, and then Charles Stevens Jr. is catching Todd Mays. Nudi on those fresh tires, he's probably going to fly by everybody in a very short amount of time.
And we got Zach Wetstein announcing 13 pitting over iRacing comms. 53 pitting.
There we go. Yep, we got the Rebels guys starting to come in. Wetstein's in. Smith is in. Colbert is in. And so
Oswald coming in.
We do have Kai Shepard in. We do have SCSRA driver in. Will Witt. Kinder's in. Adcock's in. Oswald. Yeah, here come a wave of Rebels drivers coming in. And then we have a pack of SCSRA drivers and Brandon Wallace staying out. Looks like, so with Wetstein coming in, this is going to give the lead now to Daniel Michel. And him and Stephen Black are currently coming in. See if we're going to see a trend of any of the other SCSRA drivers coming in. Hagerman, Joe Wright. No, Todd May's coming in. So Logan Hagerman's staying out now currently. In that 15 machine, he is going to try to stay out as long as he possibly can. Looks like Brian Nudi got his lap back from him just a little bit ago. So there's really only 4 drivers that are yet to pit. Logan Hagerman, Joe Wright, Eddie Morse, and Brandon Wallace. I think if Logan Hagerman really wants an advantage, he needs to come in now. Now that he's got a decent gap between him and Wetstein. Because it's just going to keep shrinking, keep shrinking. There we go. Looks like Logan Hagerman listened to me. He's coming in now. And this should give the lead to Joe Wright now. Joe Wright currently on 45-lap tires. He came in to top off on fuel when we saw our first caution, which was a very, very long time ago. We've had a very, very long green flag run. Only 3 cars need to come in now. Joe Wright, Eddie Morris, and Brandon Wallace. Looks like Garrett Kinder getting his lap back from Joe.
99 coming in.
So that's just going to leave 2, and then there were 2.
8 is pitting.
Yep, there we go. Joe Wright coming in.
Joe Wright is the one. Joe Wright is in. We are cycled through.
Yep.
Zach Wetstein will retain his lead over Eddie Smith. Isaiah Gill back to 3rd over on that pit strategy in a battle with door-to-door battle with Jonah Colbert.
All right, there we go. Zach Wetstein officially your leader now. Looks like he had a good pit strategy, but he will have some of the oldest tires out of the Rebels drivers and a lot of the SCSRA drivers. You're gonna have to watch out for Joe Wright and Eddie Morris because they're fast drivers and they're gonna have the freshest tires out of the whole field. Let's see how they're gonna handle that. Eddie Smith reeling back in. Zach Wetstein. Eddie Smith did lead the first major portion of this race, and he's looking to try to take that lead back. Let's take a look at how your top 5 is currently looking like. We see Zach Wetstein in 1st, Eddie Smith in 2nd, Jonah Colbert in 3rd. Looks like he was able to get by Isaiah Gill. Isaiah Gill in 4th, and then we have Brian Nudie in 5th. I believe this is the first time we've seen Nudie in the top 5. He's one of the biggest movers of the race. Let's take a look at our chat. Colin Williams says, "Come on, SCSRA boys. Sorry I couldn't make it. Matt, make Nudie proud." Yeah, let's see. SCSRA is having a good race so far. We got 2 drivers in the top 5. Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie, both of them having great races. Daniel Michelle has been up there as well. They just haven't been able to get on a level with Zach Wetstein and Eddie Smith. Michael Cossack says, Rebels getting it done so far. Let's go. The Rebels have definitely been dominant between Wetstein, Smith, and Colbert. They have been dominating over the SCSRA drivers so far, but you never know with this pit strategy and with the difficulty and craziness of Nashville Superspeedway, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, with the fact that Zach, Eddie, and Jonah were able to retain their top 3, I think the Rebels won this pit strategy battle. But, I mean, we're 53 laps into a 133-lap race. We're not even halfway yet.
Yeah.
So anything
can still happen for sure. We do see Eric Burkholter. He says, Alex Veith, North Dakota sucks.
You're right, North Dakota does suck.
And then we got Todd Schott. He says, let's go Rebels, roll Tide. Alabama Crimson Tide winning the SEC championship game earlier today. Congratulations to them and their fan base. I know, there's a...
Oh, that's Eric Burkholder. That's Notre Dame, and Notre Dame does not suck.
Yeah, he says that on Facebook. Notre Dame, exclamation point. Notre Dame has had a great season. I'm not a big college football fan. From what I've seen, they've had a good season.
Oh, me and Eric got into it on Discord. He was talking smack about the Notre Dame, and I was talking smack about the whole SEC in general, so...
Yeah, again, I know a majority to nothing about college football. I pay attention to it a little bit, but I definitely know you can make a lot of friends with college football, and you can make a lot of enemies with college football. That's for sure.
Yeah, it just depends on what part of the country you're in, because you don't want to say go Dogs in the middle of Alabama. That's how so you have a bad day.
Yeah, that's how fights break out. It's bad here too. It's bad here too. Biggest colleges here, of course, the 2 ACC powerhouses, Virginia and Virginia Tech, and Both schools do not like each other, that's for sure. Looks like Cody Moore coming in. He was running in the top 15. He's been on a unique pit strategy. I don't know about him. I don't know if he's coming in to take tires. Let's see. Yeah, he's coming in to take tires. So Cody Moore in a different strategy compared to everybody else at the moment.
Oh, tough break. Jason Warren lagged out.
No, yeah, it does look like he manually disconnected. That is unfortunate.
No, the server disconnected, incoming packet loss.
Wow, that's unfortunate for him. He was definitely one of my favorites to win tonight's race just because of his success at the short tracks, but I hate to see it for Mr. Jason Warren. We do have Eddie Smith continuing to try to reel in Zach Wetstein for that lead. Let's take a look here at the cockpit cam of that number 87 machine. See Dave Jones, let's go. Rebels winner buys the beer. Rebels having a great race so far. Top 3 all original Rebels drivers between Zach Wetstein, Eddie Smith, and Jonah Colbert. SCSRA has had a good race too between Gil Black, pretty much Gil Black and Michelle, but they just haven't been on the same level as Wetstein, Smith, and Colbert.
Yeah, it seems like it's a pretty good mix through the field of Rebels and SCSRA guys.
The biggest I can see is from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and pretty much is all SCSRA drivers. There you can see that. A sea of green, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Kinder in 10th, Aaron Adcock in 11th, Josh Oswald all the way up to 13th, Charles Stevens 14th. So, yeah, SCSRA has 9 through 15, 6 through 9, and the Rebels have 11 through 15 pretty much.
Looks like Blake Hensley, our Gateway reporter, he says Tyler Carpenter wins 2021 Gateway Dirt Nationals, and he is going to be on to Nice Motorsports for Knoxville.
Yeah, the Kamikaze Kid. He got his kid, I believe, threw up in his racing shoes or something, and they weren't dry for his prelim feature, went out and ran his race in a pair of Hey Dudes and won the feature.
What?
Won the feature in a pair of Hey Dudes.
Well, what do you...
And then, of course, he got a fine, and it was a whole big hullabaloo.
What?
Yep. Yeah, there's pictures of it on Facebook of him standing on top of the car in Victory Lane in a pair of Hey Dudes.
Wow, that
black and gray Hey Dudes.
That's incredible. Shout out to him, Tyler Carpenter, for that one.
He's not a big popular just because he I mean, he's kind of like a Kyle Busch. He's not afraid to rough somebody up for a position. So, I mean, a lot of people don't like him, but all of a sudden people are real concerned about. He's like, oh man, I feel less hated. Everybody's concerned about my feet getting burned up.
Luckily, nothing bad happened, because that would have been a disaster if the car caught on fire and he was wearing Hey Dudes. We do see a tight racing going on for this lead right now between Wetstein and Eddie Smith at the moment. We're currently in the cockpit cam of Smith, and he's just taking his time trying to set up that pass.
But he said in an interview this morning, he's like, I wasn't about to go out in a wet pair of shoes.
Yeah, that I personally would not be able to run in wet shoes. That would have been miserable.
Oh, I've done it in my motocross boots, and it sucks. Big bowl of suck. I waited till the last minute on a Saturday afternoon to power wash my boots off finally, because I've been busy all week, and I just throw them in the truck ready to go, and I put them on Sunday morning at the track, and they're still damp on the inside. I'm like, this is gross. I have no option. So I went through 4 pair of socks that day. Just, it was bad. Bad day. Mojo was off.
Mojo was off. And looks like we got a battle for 12th going on. Got battles all over the field right now for 12th. It's between Josh Oswald and Logan Hagerman. They're side by side. Team Pennsylvania versus Team Canada. Looks like Hagerman does have a little bit of damage. I don't know if that's affecting him. See, Cody Moore, who's currently a lap down, has caught them. I believe he's on fresher tires compared to Oswald and Hagerman, so he should be able to get by him. Hagerman letting Cody by. Those two are the hosts of the famed podcast, The Logan and Cody Show. And the field just kind of getting spread out right now. A lot of drivers currently in tire savings mode. We do see Stephen Black taking a look down low under Daniel Michel for that 4th spot. Side by side here into 1 and 2. And he is able to get clear. Stephen Black up to 4th now. He's going to be setting his sights on your original Rebels top 3, trying to catch Jonah Colbert. There's currently a 2-second gap between 3rd and 4th right now.
Yeah, it's spread out pretty much evenly throughout the field. There's a couple big packs.
Let's see. Again, the biggest pack that I can see of SCSRA is from 4th to 10th. It's a big group of SCSRA drivers. We got Isaiah Gill catching Daniel Michel. Now, I don't know if Michel maybe burnt off his tires, but he is falling like a rock. And here we go. We see Gill able to get under Daniel Michel side by side right now on the front stretch. Gill with the nose.
A lot of big movers for both leagues. Josh Oswald, 24th to 12th. Joseph Wright, 25th to 14th.
Yeah, they've both made pretty incredible journeys, and they're both catching each other. Kind of.
Yeah, Chuck Phelps, 32nd to 18th, moved up a fair amount himself, too.
Yeah, I definitely gonna want to give a big shout out to Phelps. 14 spots from 32nd to 18th. That's impressive, and he's looking to try to maybe get another one by catching Todd Mays. Matthew Scott currently catching Garrett Kinder for that 8th spot. See what he's going to try to do here. Look at the cockpit cam of that number 35.
Yeah, that's about the only caution is out on the speedway.
What a plot twist. Caution flag is out. The question is, I do not know what it's for.
Brian Murrell just loses it.
Okay, thank you, because I had no idea what the heck had happened.
He said something on iRacing Comms about shifting, and
I did hear some drivers were experimenting with downshifting, but I don't know how that's going to work. That's a recipe for disaster. I've tried downshifting at Martinsville, and that's no. Oh, there it is right there. I found it.
In the Rebels race at Phoenix, I was downshifting into the dogleg and going into 3.
Wow. We see. All right, here's what happened. So we see Eddie Smith was getting ready to lap Brian Merle Jr. Good, and yeah, he just goes around, gets loose. Eddie Smith got very, very, very lucky that he did not get into that 74 machine. We do have pretty much the whole field on pit road right now. See who wins the race off. Whoever wins the race off will take the lead. And that's going to be Zach Wetstein in first, Eddie Smith in second, Jonah Colbert third, Stephen Black in fourth, and then Daniel Michel in fifth.
In just about the order they went in.
Yep, majority of the drivers coming in. So this should be interesting now with still, this has been the trend all night long. 3 Rebels, 2 SCSRA drivers in the top 5. Let's see how this restart goes. This restart could benefit the SCSRA drivers trying to get back up there to the front. We have a bunch of other drivers in the back of the pack coming in now. So I've got a couple drivers, Cody Moore and one other driver getting ready to get their lap back. Sam Wetstein getting ready to get his lap back.
There's currently a spirited conversation about bourbon in iRacing comms. It's quite entertaining.
Well, I mean, I know Brian Nudie has his favorite bourbon that he normally has on his car in his Xfinity Series. I don't know if is it Nudie and Kinder? I
believe it is. Yeah, Nudie and Kinder are.
That's what I thought.
They're what we're hearing right now in race comms is a kindling of a new bromance because they're both fans of Bullet bourbon, and I am also a Bullet drinker.
Yeah, they're also very similar in a lot of other ways as well. Both for the SCSRA drivers, you probably know what I'm talking about. For the Rebels drivers, you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's see here. Looks like we're getting ready to go back green. Looks like Eddie Smith will opt to go to the... No. That's it looks like Wetstein won the race off of pit road, so he'll be...
Yeah, Wetstein is the leader.
All right, so he will be starting on the bottom. Eddie Smith will be starting on the top. So with the field back, tight together, re-racked, restacked, we'll see how this will go. Here we go, pace cars in. Green flag is back out, and there we see Zach Wetstein taking off. He's able to get clear of Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith trying to reel back in. We got Jonah Colbert trying to look low under that 87. He's actually side by side for Steven Black for third. Black running well on that outside to the rear quarter panel of Colbert, but Colbert is able to shut the door.
He is going to kill that run when the momentum coming out of the corner there onto the long, super long backstretch.
Yes, Nashville Superspeedway is a very, very unique track. As you can see there, it's 1.3 miles long. A very, very interesting track here in Lebanon, Tennessee. And there's a look at the weather, track temperature, and here are the commentators for tonight as well. Again, if you don't know who we are, my name is Atlee Weiss. I call majority of the races here on Intensity Broadcasting, most of the time on Wednesdays and Thursdays, sometimes Fridays. And then joining me tonight is member of the Original Rebels Racing League. Got Mr. Alex Veith. And how are you enjoying this race so far, Alex?
Oh, it's been great. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying this Rebels top 3 for the majority of the race. We brought out our 3 aliens to really showcase to the world what we got.
I do want to say this, in that Brian Nudie just ran the fastest lap time of the race, though, with a 30.45. So watch out for him. We do see a tight pack of drivers at the moment. And I think right now we're going to turn up that volume and do a little bit of pump up the intensity. So
Pump up the jam.
all right, here we go. Welcome back here to the broadcast of the SCSRA versus Original Rebels League Showdown. Right now we still see Zach Wetstein in the lead, Eddie Smith in second, Jonah Colbert third, Stephen Black fourth, and Daniel Michel is currently in fifth. So again, we've seen it all night long. 2 SCSRA drivers in the top 5, 3 Rebels. Let's see how this race will shake out as we're nearing the later portions of this race.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is Zach, Eddie, and Jonah really haven't been able to pull away like they have in the last couple of runs we've had. Eddie's kind of stayed in close proximity, and so is Jonah.
Yeah, they've got Steven, Daniel, and Isaiah all on their back bumper. So we're seeing 3 Rebels cars and 3 SCSRA drivers currently going at it at the moment. This should get interesting. We might see some of the leagues, the original Rebels drivers work together and the SCSRA drivers work together.
Yeah, it's pretty tame throughout the field. Don't see a whole lot of action going on, a lot of single file. No one's really making a move really anywhere.
I think the SCSRA drivers are trying to maybe draft and to get by the Rebels drivers. I don't know if that's going to work or not. See Stephen Black trying to reel in Jonah Colbert for that 3rd spot. I don't know if he can. Daniel Michel is currently, he has Isaiah Gill looking down low under him. but he can't quite get there. Brian Nudie looking to the high side of Gill. They're side by side on the backstretch. Let's take a look back into our chat. Let's see. Blake Hensley says the SCSRA boys about to kick those Jets on. They actually have. We've seen the SCSRA boys really coming strong since the restart happened. Stephen Black, Daniel Michelle, Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie, all up there with Colbert and their Rebels drivers. Charlie Getz says, let's go Rebels. We got, Wetstein, Smith, and Colbert all still in the top 3 at the moment, but I think that might change in a couple laps with Stephen Black hot on Jonah Colbert's tail. And let's see, Scott Tompkins says, someone take out the 87 or 31. So that would make, if that happened, that would make Zach Wetstein very happy. So he would have a big lead. So let's see, Stephen Black reeling in Jonah Colbert like a fish. Let's take a look at the cockpit cam of that 98 machine. We also see our leaders are catching lap traffic as well. We see, there we go, Black taking it down low. Got to the rear quarter panel of Colbert. Down low here on the front stretch, the rear quarter panel. Black with the nose through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Jonah Colbert seems like he's been fairly uncomfortable running the top side when he gets put up to the top in a battle. So let's see if he can battle back on the top, because Isaiah Gill is right there, and Isaiah Gill's going to tuck behind the 98 of Stephen Black, trying to get a little draft going. Help a teammate out.
Yeah, and I think we're going to start seeing that in the later portions of this race. Teammates working with teammates to try to get one league winning over the other. That's definitely going to happen here late in this race as we're nearing 30 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this is scored to determine a quote-unquote winner. But, yeah, it's been a great battle throughout the field between both leagues. Lots of give, lots of take so far.
For sure, but I think that we're going to see a lot more taken than given here in the later portions of this race. So these drivers need to be on the lookout for that. We might even potentially see a late race caution to make a green-white checkered. All that could happen. We'll see. So we see Stephen Black, one of the first SCSRA drivers to be up in the top 3 for quite some time. See Gill almost able to get by Jonah Colbert.
Yeah, Jonah Colbert just not having a good time up top. Cody Moore just announced over comms that he is pitting. 15 is pitting.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Oh, Jonah tags the wall.
Oh, that's going to continue to hurt him. Oh, look at this. We got Joe Wright coming in. Pit strategy? But maybe potentially. We see Logan Hagerman coming in. Will we see some more SCSRA drivers come in? That's my question. Let's see. We're not really nearing. I think these drivers should be able to stay out a lot longer. I don't know, though.
I have noticed of the few SCSRA, Jonah Colbert coming down. Gonna take care of that damage.
All right. So, oh no! Looks like he had trouble getting slowed down all the way. He's in the grass right now.
Yeah, but he did hit the commitment cone, so I believe he should be good from a unsafe pit penalty.
We'll see. If he does, that is going to be unfortunate for Colbert.
That will be devastating.
And for a driver who was running so fast here tonight.
Yeah, Colbert is going to take his fast repair and manually disconnect.
Oh, yeah. Colbert's out of here.
Not sure what that's all about. Because that was an easily salvageable finish. I'm not sure. Maybe he had a family emergency or something. But, yeah, that bit of a shock.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for Colbert, who was running in the top 3 for a majority of this race, had a fast truck, but in the end, ended up having to drop out of this one.
Possible equipment issues as well.
Yeah, that could definitely be potentially the problem.
Aaron Adcock creeping up into 7th on the tail of... working on the inside of the 25 there.
Look at this. Cody Moore just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 30.41. Unfortunately, he is a bunch of laps down, has struggled throughout this race. So it looks like that fast lap won't really mean too much for him.
Aaron Adcock has a 1.3 second gap between him and Brian Nudie, and he has his sights set. If there's one man you can count on to run a hard race in the last 30 laps when it matters the most, it is that ripcord chassis piloted by Mr. Aaron Tiny Adcock
Look at
himself.
this. Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie coming into the pits, trying to short pit it here to get an advantage of the Rebels. We'll see how that works out. Zach Wetstein continuing to stay out. Wetstein's longest time that he stayed out was 45 laps, so still a little bit more time until he reaches that point. Wetstein has only had 1 second of tire fall. Oh, there we see second place Eddie Smith coming in now. Aaron Adcock coming in now. Kyle Mays is in. Question is, how long is Wetstein willing to stay out? That's the question. If he comes in late, he'll have the freshest tires out of the whole field.
Caution!
Oh, that's gonna be a game changer because it's gonna trap a lot of drivers. Oh no. It's like Matt Clement involved in this one.
Not sure what happened.
All right, here's a look. Here he is. Looks like he's got Brian Merle Jr. looking low under him. Ooh, Clement
washes up, tags the wall, and comes down.
into Brian Merle Jr. That is unfortunate for both drivers. But, yes, it's unfortunate for them, but the drivers who it is most unfortunate for is the drivers who came into the pits, because they are now going to be trapped down a lap. Aaron Adcock, Gil,
Aaron
Nudie.
Adcock and Eddie Smith are shown on the lead lap currently.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. We do see, all right, the rest of the field coming in.
Just on the cusp.
They got lucky there. Woo! We got pretty much the whole field coming in. And a lot of drivers will be getting their laps back. Whoever wins the race off should be put in third, I think. And it looks like the first driver off will be an SCSRA car. That's Daniel Michel. Zach Wetstein off in fourth. Garrett Kinder off in fifth.
Oh, Aaron Adcock did go a lap down.
Ah, that's unfortunate for him. But we do...
But he will get the waiver on, I believe.
Let's see. Currently, here's a look at your top 5 at the moment. Here we go. So we got Eddie Smith in first. He's back up to first after he's been chasing Zach Wetstein for most of this race. Kyle Mays in second. Got Daniel Michel in third place. Fourth is Zach Wetstein. And fifth is Garrett Kinder. And we know Smith, Mays, and Michelle all stayed out because they came in right before the caution flag came. Wait.
It looks like Eddie Smith did not make his stop.
So yeah, him and Kyle Mays are both coming in right now to get tires. So yeah, they didn't make a stop, so they're going to have to come in or else they're going to have a huge disadvantage over the rest of the field on those fresh tires.
Oh. So, through process of elimination, Jonah Colbert must have got a black flag for an unsafe pit entry because he just had a black flag cleared. So essentially ended his race, yeah. And Eddie Smith is also disconnected.
Ooh. We're losing Rebel driver after Rebel driver. That's not good for them.
Guys must be taking penalties. And, I mean, yeah, this late in the race, it's over.
Yeah, we still see, though, a Rebels majority right now in the top 5. Second, third, and fourth are original Rebel drivers, and Zach Wetstein, Garrett Kinder, and Josh Oswald. But right now, for the first time this race, we see an SCSRA leader in Daniel Michelle. Michelle has definitely been the fastest, or one of the fastest of the SCSRA drivers so far here in tonight's event. Definitely watch out for him here on our next restart. And a bunch of drivers getting their laps back.
Yeah, Zach Wetstein, Garrett Kinder, Josh Oswald in that second, third, and fourth. Those are some fast Rebels.
Watch out for, yep, and of course we know Wetstein, he's led most of this race. Garrett Kinder, he's always there. And of course, never can count out Josh Oswald, amazing at these short track type tracks. Of course, I really don't know about Nashville Superspeedway. Is it a short track? Do you consider it a short track, Alex?
I think technically anything a mile and under is considered a short track to NASCAR.
Got you. My main thing though is I don't know why it's a super speedway when you're lifting and braking.
I think it's just called a super speedway just for the clout and the glamour behind it when they built the track.
Ah, got you. I mean that
lights on the pace truck are off. It's off, and we are about to go green flag racing with however many laps to go. I'm not good at math. We know that.
Let's see. We should be around, got 26 laps to go here, and right now we see Daniel Michelle getting a restart side by side for second. Garrett Kinder looking low under Zach Wetstein for second. They're side by side as we head on to the backstretch now. Wetstein with the nose over Kinder.
Caution.
Oh, that's a game changer. Oh no, Isaiah Gill involved in this one. A driver who has been running fast for a lot of this race has a tough break. We see Isaiah Gill was looking high above Logan Hagerman.
Looks like a little bit of three wide action coming in the corner.
Yeah, that's crazy. Looks like a car washes up from the bottom. Hagerman washes up to avoid that, and he washes up into Gill. Looks like that was Derek Chaput running on the bottom there. There might have been maybe some miscommunication with the SCSRA drivers. I don't know if they wanted to put themselves in that situation. Let's see. Do have a lot going on in the chat right now. Ryan Selena says, let's go Big Hagerman. Yeah, Hagerman, unfortunately, was involved in that most recent incident. He's coming into the pits. I don't know whether he's taking tires or what's he doing in the pits. Jazzyman on Twitch says, good luck, Daniel Michelle. Michelle having a great race. He's currently your leader, and he had a decent gap over Zach Wetstein and Garrett Kinder there on our most recent restart. Out of all the SCSRA drivers, he is definitely the one to watch right now. Dayton Lee says, Alex can't do math, but yet can't help putting himself in that situation.
Look, I really hoped the ticker was going to show laps to go when I started that sentence, and I looked over and it was not, so I was screwed.
And then Ratchet Miller says, "Hammer down, Rebels." Let's see. We still have a majority of Rebels in the top 5 right now between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Zach Wetstein, Garrett Kinder, and Josh Oswald. But your leader is an SCSRA driver, and that's all that matters.
Josh Oswald up 20 spots.
And then, of course, look at this. Look who's in the top 10. Look who's in 9th, Alex.
Old Chuck Phelps. Can't count out the old peg leg. I guarantee he's in Discord saying, "Oh, guys, I don't know what I'm doing up here." Chuck, you're not fooling anybody. You're fast. Fast as all get out, man. We know that.
Yeah, I mean, he's gained 23 positions since the green flag dropped. He's had a great race. Just been able to avoid the wrecks. He's made some smart moves, and poof, he is now here in the top 10.
I know Chuck's going to watch this broadcast back, and he's going to message me. He's, "Oh, man, I don't belong up front."
No, I mean, he's had a great race, and he's only been 1/10 off the leader for his fastest lap time of the race. So he's done good here tonight.
Yeah, one thing about Chuck Phelps is the man is consistent, and consistency is speed.
That is for sure. Let's see. Jasmine says, "You got this, Daniel. I always believe in you." Daniel Michel will be restarting in that first spot. He's got 22 laps to try to hold off the rest of the drivers. The Rebels will be coming in full force to try to take that lead from him. Can he hold him off? We will see. And Micah Reeby says, "Take them to school, Josh Oswald." Josh Oswald.
The Jet.
Josh the Jet Oswald from Lordstown, Pennsylvania. Right now running in that 4th spot. We really didn't say his name until a couple laps ago when we saw he got up into the top 5. We've really, though, it has been unfortunate. We've just seen Rebel after Rebel dropping out of this race so far. We lost Jonah Colbert. Now we've lost Eddie Smith. Hopefully we don't see any more drivers have to drop out. Oh, and we lost Jason Warren.
Yeah, well, two of the fastest guys in the league had pretty much race-ending penalties. I mean, as fast as those guys are, I don't blame them for dropping out, because who wants to spend the last 30 laps running around and 30th 3-4 laps down?
Yeah, I can agree with that, but still, I mean, there's other things you could probably be doing instead of running 4 laps down when you know you don't have a chance to win. Like practicing for your next iRacing race. All right, we are getting ready to go back green. Daniel Michel will be restarting on the bottom. Zach Wetstein will be restarting on the top. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. There we see Daniel Michel taking off. And we are side by side for second. As I say that, looked like Wetstein was able to shut the door on Garrett Kinder. So now Kinder's going to try to reel back in Wetstein. He's actually side by side between him and Josh Oswald right now. Oswald getting a great run on that outside to about the door of that 13.
Yeah, a lot of great racing here in that top 6 or 7 as Daniel Michel is leaving the area code.
Yep, he's currently got a 4/10 lead over Zach Wetstein, which is comfortable, but it's not safe because one small mistake for Michel could allow Wetstein to reel him in. We continue to stay side by side here for third between Oswald and Garrett Kinder. Oswald's getting a great run on that outside. He's really making it work, and there we go. We see Joshua Oswald is able to get clear and up to third now, so Garrett Kinder staying on his back bumper, though. Not letting him get away. Uh-oh, looks like Zach Wetstein has reeled in Daniel Michel for that first spot, and Zach Wetstein just ran the fastest lap time of tonight's event. Watch out for him. He's coming fast.
Yeah, Zach Wetstein is just one of those freak of nature drivers. I'm not sure how he does it or what he does, but he's always butter smooth and consistently fast.
Yeah, I mean, and that's showing there with that lap time, 30.40. That's absolutely incredible here at Nashville Superspeedway. Do see currently a side-by-side battle. Looks like Stephen Black was able to get by Garrett Kinder for that 4th spot now. Garrett Kinder fallen a couple positions since the restart. I believe he restarted in that 3rd spot down to 5th now. He's trying to get Stephen Black back, though. Back up there to the battle for the lead between Zach Wetstein and Daniel Michel.
Not much going on throughout the field. Still single filed out pretty much all the way through.
And I think right now Zach Wetstein is just trying to be patient on Daniel Michel right now, trying his best to stuff the pass clean. But at the end of the race, I don't know if that's still going to be the case. Got Garrett Kinder continuing to try to reel back in Stephen Black for that 4th spot after Black passed him a couple of laps ago.
Got a pretty solid battle back here between Nick Mather and Chuck Phelps for that 6th position. Caution is out. Not sure where.
Oh, Hagerman, Adcock, Isaac
Aaron
Gill.
Adcock around.
No, the Logan Hagerman fans are going to be very upset after this one. Oh, hold on. Let me rewind a little bit. I got to the replay right in the thick of the action. So looks like we saw Hagerman was looking low under Adcock into the corner, and Adcock just slides down a little bit.
It just wasn't expecting that kind of run, looks like.
Yep. Both of them go around. That was just some tight tight whatever the heck Nashville Superspeedway is racing right there. And looks like Hagerman, a little bit of agricultural racing. You never want to see that. If you want to do that, go play Farming Simulator.
Yeah, with the Rebels.
I know the Rebels love Farming Simulator.
Yeah, there's a dedicated group of about six to 10 guys that were infatuated with Farm Sim 19, and they've since moved to Farm Sim 22.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I've never tried it before, but I don't know if I would enjoy it.
I tell you what, once you figure out the game, it is a great way to accidentally waste 12 hours.
Really?
The first night I got on the server on Farm Sim 19 with the Rebels, I got on at 9, and next thing I know, I look at the window and the sun is coming up because it's 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's... Wow. Let's see. Blake Hensley says, Farming Simulator is where I turn after a frustrating league race result or a long day on my farm in real life. See, why would... I don't know. Why would you want to go from the farm in real life to just continuing on farming?
Yeah, of course, I'm a mechanic by trade, but I got Car Mechanic Simulator when I took a brief hiatus from turning wrenches, and I played it. I'm like, man, this is fun. And then I got a job. I got back into wrenching, and I opened up Car Mechanic Simulator for 45 seconds. I look at the car that I was working on. I'm like, why am I doing this? And I immediately closed the game, and I haven't opened it since.
Oh. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to play Broadcasting Simulator. Because I'm like, why am I doing this when I can just broadcast a race?
Well, the way I look, I've been needed. There's a couple parts I've been needed to hang on my new gas car, or my new gas getter car, and I just don't want to do it. By the time I'm done working on everybody else's stuff, the last thing I want to work on is my stuff. So why would I come home and play a video game about working on stuff?
Right, but still, I mean, if you're a big farming fan, you love farming is your passion, then I could see where that would be something fun to, again, just come back after a long day and just have fun with friends, you know. A nice Saturday night activity. I know another big thing that I've heard is Fishing Simulator. People love Fishing Simulator. Or no, not.
I don't have the patience of fishing in real life.
I mean, not Fishing Simulator, Fishing Planet. I don't know if anybody has heard of that, but that's a big.
I think it's free on Xbox. I think
it's free. Yeah, it's free on Xbox and free on PS4, I think. But then you have to buy cheese to catch the catfish.
I'll just get down there and catch them with your hand, go noodling, redneck stuff.
Like Jeffrey Earnhardt. Let's see. He says, get to play with the big boys on the video game that I don't always get to play with in real life. That is true. You might get to do some things there on Farming Simulator that you might not be able to do in real life. But we are getting ready to go back green here. Enough talk about Farming Simulator. Got Daniel Michel restarted on the bottom. Zach Wetstein restarted on the top. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this event. We've got 2 SCSRA drivers in the top 5, 3 Rebels. Let's see how this goes down.
It's pretty much been a Zach Wetstein show. That Daniel Michel just appeared late season. Pace truck is off. Restart is on the leader. Daniel's going to get a great start. Going to leave Zach Wetstein spinning the tires.
Yep, we're side by side for second between Josh Oswald and Zach Wetstein. We see Stephen Black there as well. Wetstein with the nose over Oswald. We head into turns 1 and 2, and he is able to get clear. Zach Wetstein up to second, so it's now side by side for third between Stephen Black and Josh Oswald. Neither driver giving one another an inch here on the backstretch. Black getting a great run on that outside.
Wetstein able to come down clear the nose of Josh Oswald by a fair few amount as he's left battling door to door with the 98 of Stephen Black as Daniel Michel holds a 3/10 lead over Mr. Wetstein with inside 10 to go.
Yeah, we're getting down into the nitty-gritty of this race. If you were holding back, now it's go time. Help your team and get up there to the front. Looks like Stephen Black was able to get clear of Josh Oswald for that third spot, but I don't think it's over between these two.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fist fight down to the nitty gritty there for the final interview spot, really.
Yep, this is a chance to get interviewed by the broadcast here for this battle for third right now. Right now, Josh Oswald is not gonna get an interview.
And an interview in an intensity broadcasting production is a very prestigious award.
That is true.
You just don't get that. You just don't get that anywhere.
That is true. Normally, most broadcasting companies interview first place, and that's it. But here, we got to go through the field from third to first and hear different perspectives from the race.
Yeah, people pay good money to get a post-race interview.
That is, I know. I mean, pay good money to get the car set up, get the win, and then go to victory lane. I mean, most people don't even pay money to get the car set up for the win or the glory or the money. They just do it for the post-race interview.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you ask any driver at your local short track, they just say, hey, I'm just here for the interview.
I'm just here for the SR.
That is true. A lot of yep. That would be something interesting that I would maybe like to see sometime in real life at a short track. Short tracks keeping track of like safety rating, and you could get bonus points or lose points because of your safety rating. Like after the race, they would have safety rating inspectors, and they'd go around to each of the cars and just see how much damage there is, and that will determine how much you gain or lose safety rating.
I just think it needs to be a sticker on the back of the Bando next year.
Running for safety rating. I can get that done for you, Alex. I can get that done for you.
My girlfriend has a Cricket. I will cut it if I have to.
Send it to me in the mail, man. I'll put it on the car. 4 laps to go. We see Jazzyman on Twitch says, "Let's go, Daniel. So close." He's right now got a 3/10 lead over Zach Wetstein at the moment with 4 laps to go. Can he hold on, or will Zach catch him? We will see live on Intensity Broadcasting. Looks like Zach is actually catching him as we talk about Daniel.
Catching him, they're in the same frame at this point.
3 laps to go.
Curious to see if he's got enough time to make it happen.
That is the question. 3 laps to go now. See Garrett Kinder trying to reel in Josh Oswald for 4th. We got 2 battles on track. All the dirt says SCSRA all the way. 2 laps to go for Daniel Michel. There's a 2/10 lead between him and Zach Wetstein. Oh, looks like Zach Wetstein was blinking a little bit. Could that pose to be a problem? Oh boy. Final lap for Daniel Michel. He's got 4 more turns to try to secure the victory for him and his SCSRA teammates. Through 1 and 2, right now about 2 car lengths between him and Zach Wetstein. Wetstein reeling him in a little bit more.
Into 3 and 4.
Can Michel hold him off? Wetstein getting a big run! And for the original Rebels, SCSRA League Showdown, your winner will be Daniel Michel for the SCSRA team.
Zach Wetstein just not quite able to get it done. Stephen Black 3rd, Garrett Kinder 4th, Josh Oswald wrapping up your top 5. Cody Moore all the way up to 6th. Nick Mather 7th, Brian Nudie 8th. Chuck Feltz bringing home 32nd to 9th place. Charles Steven rounding out your top 10.
Wow, so looks like for winner-wise, the SCSRA won because their driver won the race. For most drivers in the top 10, if my math is correct, it's a tie. There were 5 Rebels drivers in the top 10, 5 SCSRA drivers in the top 10.
Yeah, it was a pretty even battle throughout the night. Tough break for Eddie and Jonah and Jason Eddie and Jonah having race-ending penalties.
And then we also saw
Jason Ward having connection issues.
We also saw the SCSRA's driver, Isaac Gill. He had some problems as well, so that was unfortunate for them. But in the end, looks like the SCSRA is the winner of your league showdown, and Daniel Michel is burning it down. But I will say this, although SCSRA won, both leagues put on one heck of a show.
I wouldn't call SCSRA the winner. I'd call everybody who tuned in to watch this race the winner because they got a show.
Yeah, I mean, this was... And look at this. We've got burnouts everywhere. Synchronized spinning everywhere. See, look at this. At the end of the race, everybody's just... They're competitors on the track, but look at this. At the end of the race, everybody just wants to have a good time. This is awesome.
I had a good time.
Oh, I had a good time calling this race, too. This was an absolute... But we got a demolition derby on the front stretch. What is this? Thunderstruck? Thunderstruck always has a demolition derby on the front stretch after the race.
It's not just a Thunderstruck thing; it's a whole Rebels thing.
Oh.
And we get in trouble when we take our Rebels celebrations to the other leagues.
All right, so looks like we've got all the top 3 in the waiting room. We are going to start off by pulling in your... Oh, what the heck is going on? This is... All right, we're going to go ahead and pull
Anarchy and chaos.
Anarchy, that's the word right there. Anyway, all right, we're going to go ahead and pull in now your third place finisher, Stephen Black. Stephen, this is Atlee and Alex in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Atlee.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know you started in 8th and you stayed up in there in the top 10 for most of the race. You were one of the highest SCSRA drivers in the field, and then most of the time we saw you battling with Daniel, Nudie, and Gil. And there on that last restart, we saw you get a great run. You were able to get by Oswald and Kinder, and you were trying to chase down Wetstein, but you couldn't quite get him to him. I mean, what was your take of this race here in the league showdown at Nashville?
Yeah, it was a pretty fun race, racing against these guys from the original Rebels. They were pretty solid competition, and especially Zach and Eddie Smith, and pretty much everyone I had the pleasure of racing against tonight. It was really hard to pass. Couldn't really do a whole lot, especially down low on the bottom. And the tires were all so quick if you were trying to race somebody. But yeah, overall had fun.
Yeah, it really seemed like you kind of hung back. You guys had some both leagues really had differing pit strategies. Did I feel like that really kept you up front, or was that planned?
Yeah, I kind of just pit with the leaders, just to try to stay on the same strategy as them, because I figured it would all cycle back around, especially with the tires being as important as they are. You didn't want to be on any order than you had to be. But yeah, I know Daniel there took a chance and took 2 rights, and that was it on that last pit stop, and I figured clean air would help him out a lot there at the end.
For sure. Well, before we let you go, Steven, is there anybody you would like to thank, sponsors or shout-outs before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to everyone at Original Rebels for coming together with SCSRA to do this. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully we could do it again. Shout out to Daniel, too, for getting the win. The guy's really fast, and all he needed was to get out front and lead some laps and get into clean air.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish, Steven. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
No problem. Now going to go ahead and pull in your second place finisher from Indiana. Got Mr. Zach Wetstein. Zach, this is Atlee and Alex in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know it started off, we saw Eddie was leading most of the race, but then we saw you were able to catch him, and we saw then you were kind of the class of the field for a lot of the time, had a great pit strategy, but then we saw when that last caution flag came out, or when we saw after that green flag run, saw Daniel was able to take the lead, and after that you couldn't really quite catch him. I mean, what was your take on this, all the events that happened here at Nashville?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm just proud of the Rebels guys. We had most in the top 5, and we definitely had the best pace of the night. So I'm proud of my Rebels teammates for putting on a great race with these guys. Shout out to them as well. He took 2 tires, and he just kept catching the cautions. If we could have gone green, I would have passed him. At least I feel confident I would have, because he was on 2 tires. But cautions fell the way they did, and he won the race.
Yeah, really. Look, you really didn't lose a whole lot of ground to him, but at the same time, you couldn't. You didn't quite have the rubber underneath that Hoosier Motorsports truck to really drive him down. Other than I did notice a bit of a last lap dive into 3, trying to hope to pull something off there.
Yeah, I mean it has to do with the dirty air, really. You get about 2/10 behind somebody, and then it just sticks there. And I think that was pretty apparent. It may have not have been on the broadcast, but it definitely it was apparent in the truck. It just you got 2/10 behind somebody and you couldn't get a run off the corner. So, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. Congrats to Daniel for that, and they picked the right strategy and it worked out for them. And hopefully we'll be able to do this again sometime else, and Rebels will come out on top.
Yep, I did actually. I agree. I did notice that dirty air thing where, I mean, you'd be able to get up to someone, and then after that it was just 2/10, and then after that it was just kind of stuck. But before we let you go, Zach, is there anybody you would like to thank, sponsors or shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like I said, all Rebels for what we did tonight. We me and Eddie and Jonah, everybody did a great job, but me and Eddie and Jonah were up there top 3 for a lot of the race. Really just setting the pace, and I'm proud of what we did there. Like I said, just everybody in the league, we put in practice throughout the last couple weeks, and I think it showed from everybody out there on track. And parents, mom and dad, dad ran in this race, obviously, if you saw his name. So if you're a viewer anyways, you might not know, he ran in this race as well. So shout out to him and you guys for broadcasting.
Yep, definitely had fun broadcasting tonight's event for sure. But again, congratulations on the runner at finish, Zach. Have a great rest of your night.
Appreciate it. You guys too.
Thank you. And now it's time to pull in your winner from Los Angeles, California, Daniel Michel. Daniel, this is Atlee and Alex in the broadcast booth. You get a copy.
Yes, sir, I got you.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know you started off, you were fastest in practice, looked very, very fast. And then in the feature, we really didn't say your name too much. You were running about mid top 10. And then after we saw the gamble taking 2 tires, you're able to get up to the front and saw the cautions come in your favor. You were able to hold off the rest of the field. And after that, I mean, you ended up getting the win. Were able to hold off Zach. I mean, what was your take on this race?
It was a very, very fun race. There was a few times where it was a little bit sketchy up front because I could not keep my car low, but it was so much fun to race against all these guys. Both leagues are so fun. All the drivers, amazing. I don't even know how I managed to stay ahead with that strategy, but it worked out.
Yeah, really. Zach said in his interview, it seemed like the 2 right side tires and the dirty air is what really kept him at bay, and the cautions really falling in your favor there towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I intentionally did the 2 tires to try and see if that would work. Luckily, the way the cautions did fall, it did. But there was just such dirty air. I couldn't get by anyone during the actual mid part of the race, and later on when we had those cautions, I just kept moving forward. So it's unfortunate that that's how the racing was on the track, but it was a lot of fun even then.
Gotcha. Well, before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to thank, sponsors or shout outs for your win?
Well, first off, I got to shout out Jazzyman because always in the chat. But I'll shout out Steven, all the SCSRA guys, and honestly everyone in the race today and everyone who set it up. It was an amazing time, and I hope we get to do this another time.
It was definitely a fun race for sure. But again, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see many more in some of the SCSRA races coming up.
Yes, sir.
Well, that is going to do it here for the Original Rebels Racing League versus SCSRA League Showdown. Final thoughts, Alex?
Man, I wish that race was longer. That was fun to watch. Great battles throughout the field, and I don't think they could have picked a better track for the shootout.
I agree with you there. I mean, Nashville Superspeedway, such a unique track, kind of a morph between a short track and a 1.5 miles. That just makes it so much fun to watch racing-wise. So I want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch this League Showdown here tonight. Make sure to like, follow and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,000 followers on Facebook and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by April of 2022, which will be our 2-year anniversary. It's free and it's greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to check us out on Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We are always dropping polls on there, and it is a fun time interacting with viewers, so make sure to check us out on there. And again, just make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. I'm Atlee Atman-Weason on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Over and out.